なんで俺が気楽にぶつけると思ったの？俺の中に
Because he lost against him?
怪物がいるから。
Okay. Was not expecting that answer. Hey everyone, I'm going to react to Blue Lock episode 2. What's that again? Oh shoot, why are you opening up? Monster. Last episode we got introduced to a whole bunch of characters. Mainly the main one is Isagi, right? He wants to be the best kicker, ever. Wants to be on the Japanese football team and all of that. And all these kickers got invited into this place by this guy called Ego, and he wants to make them like one of them. There's 300 of them that were invited. One out of 300 is gonna become the best soccer, so that the Japanese team can win the World Cup, basically. And you have Isagi, you have Kira, right? I feel like his name I always remember. Kira, and then other characters as well. And they were in the middle of doing this tag your 8 kind of game. And I believe the person that is 8 right now is Kira, because Isagi kicked him in the face. So that's where we ended last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys are my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/feelingmini. And now let's start this episode, and here we go.
Okay guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comment in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review.
Last episode we didn't particularly see an intro, and I wonder if there's gonna be an intro in this episode.
フットボールの世界において一流のゴールキーパーやディフェンダー、ミッドフィルダーは育てることができるが、ストライカーだけはその類ではない。一流のストライカーという生き物はその時最もフットボールの熱い場所に突如として出現する。
Okay, intro. Yeah, that's a crazy dude. What's his name again? Bashira? Oh my gosh. I'm just seeing all the corpses of, I'm guessing kickers? I go for it. That last guy with the pink hair, I feel like it's gonna be, I don't know, one of those players, I guess, that it's gonna be hard for you to overcome.
ワールドカップ優勝は不可能かと。
そしてアンリちゃん、本気で信じてんの？日本が優勝できるって。
アンリちゃん。
当たり前だろ、ゼニゲバだ抜き。それが私の夢だっつうの。
まあ君がアイデア出してこそこそ根回しして始まっちゃったんだからさ。結果出なかったら責任取って。
So she's the one that sort of like bankrolling this Bullock thing?
に導くプレイヤーを誕生させることができるのは
この
男しかいないと。エゴジンパチ。
エゴ、okay. イゴ。
どういうこと？何これ？ごめん。だって急にボールが来たから。平良介失格。
あ？
俺は日本サッカー界の宝だぞ。イガグリとかイサキ君のが才能あるってのかよ。あ？こんな鬼ごっこに何の意味がある？あれをよく見ろ、エリート凡人。
メディオカエリート。
その部屋の広さはペナルティエリアと同じサイズだ。だからどうした？鬼ごっこはサッカーじゃねえっつってんの。
Well, it kind of is.
対人感覚、駆け引き。だからってこんなたかだか2分ちょっとで俺の何がわかんだよ。1試合の中で1人のプレイヤーがボールを保持できる平均時間は約136秒。
Damn.
でもラスト10秒じゃどうしようも。
お前は試合でも同じことを言うのか？試合終了間際のラストワンプレー、味方のシュートがお前に直撃したその瞬間、お前は諦めて敗北を受け入れた。
Oh, I think I didn't quite understand the game before. Okay, now I do.
倒れたイガグリじゃなく、自分よりランキングが上のやつを倒そうとした潔世一。集団の常識に左右されない己のためだけの勝利への執念であり、俺が求めるストライカーのエゴイズムだ。
急にバチラが来たから。
Don't turn ugly.
なんで蹴った？キラ君のサッカー人生を俺が終わらせた？俺はこんなに高ぶってる。あいつがなんで俺にパスしたんだよ。
だって蹴ると思ったもん。そんな顔してた。
はっ
ですか？生まれて初めて人生をかけて戦った気分はビビったろ、しびれたろ。これがブルーロックの常識だ。
What's with the chains?
おめでとう。部屋にいるのはちょうど11時。お前らはこれから生活を共にする11。
Like the number of players on a soccer team.
チーム Z だ。
Team Z だ。
潔イガグリ、そんなんでよく世界一のストライカーとか言えたら、俺に負けて泣く前に帰れよ凡人どもが。
せーの。潔君調子悪い？まあマックスでこないんだけどな。
ずっとたくあんだけだぜ。
どんまいイガグリ。
どんまいどんまい。
上位者は見ろよ。
Ooh,
マジかよ、
nice.
羨ましすぎる。
グンフグンかよ。
What?
餃子一個だけ。
おいチビ返せ。寝てる場合じゃねえ。おい
Crazy dude. Bachira? Yep. Okay.
自主練？
おなんで俺がキラ君にぶつけると思ったの？
俺の中に
Because he lost against him?
怪物がいるから。
Okay. Was not expecting that answer. Did he face Kira before?
怪物ならもっと。
Dang, people. Is that an imaginary monster or what? I don't get it.
でもあの時はさ、怪物が言ったんだ。潔にパスを出せって。あいつの中にも怪物がいるって。聞こえるでしょ？怪物の声。
何言ってんだよこいつ。
That's why their eyes go.
知りたい。俺の中の怪物の正体。それが俺のブルーロックで生き残るヒントになるかもしれない。
だから潔。俺はここに来てよかった。潔に会えたから。
Maybe he's talking about the something inside
こいつは俺に
strikers, I guess.
勇気をくれる。
Like him or whatever.
ああ、潔。見て見て俺。ランキング300からめっちゃ上がってんだけど。ほら、275位。
すげえ。
I wonder which one he. Oh, okay.
ブルーロックの暮らし楽しんでるかい？
ふざけんな。こんなクソみたいな環境でマジでサッカー上手くなんのか。
環境がクソなのはお前らがサッカー下手くそだから当然だ。バーカ。
Baka.
少しブルーロックの話をしよう。
Okay.
この施設鬼ごっこで各部屋1人ずつ脱落して現在残り人数は275名。
Oh. Oh well.
お前らチーム Z は最低ランク5号棟。
こいつらですら最低限。
ランキング上位者は上のランクの塔で最高の飯とトレーニングを得ている。ここではサッカーが上手いやつが王様。一次セレクションを始めます。
What is that gonna consist of?
君は天才ミッドフィルダーとして世界有数の名門クラブチームレアールの下部組織に所
Oh,
属
this
して
is
い
a
た
pink
が
guy that I'm like.
規定に我々は君が国内リーグでプレーする姿を見られるのかな。
死んでも嫌っすね。
Yeah, it's him. Itoshi.
チャンピオンズリーグで優勝するのが俺の夢なんで。この国には俺のパスを受けられるフォワードがいない。
Huh.
困るよ、さえちゃん。マスコミに嫌われちゃうよ。
どうでもいい
He
よ。
doesn't care. What is he gonna see here that's gonna... Oh, they announced the Bullock Project?
優勝に導くためのストライカーを育成しようというのがこのブルーロックプロジェクトでございます。
一人のために他の299人の人生を台無しにしても構わないってことですか？
通りです。日本サッカーが次に進むためにはこのイカれたプロジェクトが必要なんです。見てみたくないんですか？日本サッカー界に英雄が誕生する瞬間を。
上位2チームのみが二次セレクションへと勝ち上がるサバイバルマッチだ。
じゃあここにいるチーム Z11 人が一つのチームってこと？
グリー、お前ディフェンスな。
フォワード11人で一つのチームとかありえないだろ、そんなの。
全員がストライカーであることから始まった。その原点からサッカーをやれ。お前らの頭でゼロから作り直すんだよ。
ゼロから？
Chris Tucker from Zero?
なるほどに日本サッカーは強くなった。でもそのあと一歩先へ行くために日本サッカーは今こそ死ぬべきです。
今までの常識なんて信じるな。捨てろ。新しい概念を脳みそにぶち込め。そんな一人の存在によってサッカーは無限に進化する。そいつを止めるディ
Neymar!
フェンスシステムが創造される。準備はできてるか？
その全てが
ブルーロックにある。
体験は以上です。
No questions?
サイちゃん、そろそろ行かないと。
Nah, he's not
スペ
going.
インに帰る飛行機。
キャンセルだ。この国にどんなバカが生まれるか、俺がこの目で確かめてやる。
What kind of idiot? What's with the aura around them? Okay.
生き残るのは俺だ。
疲れた。
あれ、俺たちの部屋ってどっちだっけ？いや、そこは脱衣所とトイレだ、バチラ。
あれあれあれ、俺の中の怪物が言ってる。漏れそうだと。
早く行け、バカだれ。
The monster is staring me. Okay, I'm enjoying the show, the anime, but I feel like I don't know if it's like is the word exposition? Like there's a whole lot of exposition that my brain, like as I'm reading it, my brain is not able to process everything that I'm reading in time for the next scene. If you guys know, I feel like I'm lagging behind when I'm watching the show. So after it's done, I usually like I just did it right now. I usually sit back here and sort of like go through the episode again because I feel like I'm missing a lot of stuff. And like, and also there are so many characters that I'm like, I'm not even gonna try to remember their names unless they're sort of like they're using them more often and they're calling them out more often. Then I will probably be retaining their names easily like that. I don't know, but yeah, like I said, I'm having a hard time following everything. It's not like there's a whole lot happening on screen itself, but like just like the information that's being passed out, like when Ego is speaking about why he's doing what he's doing and you know all of that, I'm like, huh? You know, trying to figure out what he's saying and then trying to understand what he's saying. It's like I'm having a hard time with that. So I I guess he does have a plan, and his plan sort of like makes sense because when I was saying that I felt like I didn't fully understand the tag game. I thought, and I believe I said so last episode, I thought that the game of tag, if I remember correctly, I said like, how does it end? Because I'm thinking, okay, when they hit you with the ball, you have a certain amount of time to choose another person and hit it to that person, and if you don't in that time frame, then you lose. But that's not what it is. There's a set amount of time he gave them a time. You have to keep passing the ball, trying to find somebody so that you're not the last person to be hit with the ball. If you're the last person to be hit and you don't find somebody else to hit that ball, to hit with the ball, then you are out. And that's what happened with Kira. He had a second left, but he didn't do anything with that second. He was the last one to get hit, and then he got locked off, So that's how he got super pissed. Like his face, the way his face changed when he got mad. And like I was saying, Ego has, I keep wanting to say ego. Ego has a plan. Like after he was told that he was disqualified, Kira is like, what does this stupid tag game has to do with anything? What does this being here has to do with soccer? And that's when he revealed to them that the room that they were in was the same dimensions as the penalty box. Where I believe he said 75% of the goals are scored from and whatnot. And then he also said, Kira asked, okay, so like this game of tag doesn't really have anything to do with soccer. And then, even before Ego said it, see, I feel like I'm gonna keep saying Ego. Even before he said it, I'm like, it kind of does, because people are coming to you to get the ball from you. So if you have the ball, you sort of like it. So, and you have to pass the ball to somebody. So I sort of like understood that before Ego even, talked about it. And at one point he said, I had to write it down, that after Bachira and that he said that Isagi went after the strongest. Bashira also went after the strongest. And then he said that they have this selfish obsession, and that's the kind of egoism that he's looking for. And then later on in the episode, when Isagi wanted to go train, and then Bashira went with him, and then they started talking, and he's asking him, okay, so why did you pass the ball to me, all of that? And then he said, like, I have a monster inside of me or something. And then they showed this quick flashback of where he was playing on a team. He was in a match, and he didn't pass to, I think someone was asking for the ball, he didn't pass to that person. But then I believe the other team like held back his jersey or something, so he sort of like tripped, and then he lost the ball. I'm like, shouldn't that be like some kind of fault? But whatever. And then they were saying that he was hugging the ball and whatnot. I'm guessing that's the kind of selfish obsession that ego is looking for. Sorry, but I feel like I'm gonna keep saying ego because I don't want to keep correcting myself. So that's the kind of thing that he sort of, I feel like that's the kind of thing he sort of displayed during that match. And that's probably one of the reasons why Ego chose him to be part of this Blue Lock experiment. And when he was talking to Isagi about the monster inside, and that his monster told him that he also has a monster inside of him, and that's why he passed him the ball and all of that. And I'm like, is this monster the same thing as the selfish obsession that Ego was talking about? Because if, like he said in the first episode, you need to develop egoism, whatever, you need to develop this sort of like selfishness about the game in order to become the best striker. And then you have Bashira saying that all these top players, scorers, or whatever also have this monster inside of them. And if the monster is this selfish obsession about basically hogging the ball and scoring and whatnot, then that won't kind of make sense. Like the monster will be like monster equals selfish obsession. That's how I understood the monster that he's referring to. It's this selfish obsession that at least these two have, when it comes to, So after Kira left, they were going through training and stuff, and then they got these new rankings, right? And they're thinking, okay, we jumped from last episode I was calling him Igarashi. Was I wrong, or is his name Igarashi Igaguri? I don't know, but in this episode they were calling him Igaguri. Igaguri was number 300, and then he jumped to number 275, and you're thinking, okay, it's because I've done so much better and I've jumped up 10 points, but nope. That wasn't it. The only reason why he was at number 275, I mean, that's because that's the amount of people that are still there after they kicked off one person, like in Team Z, they kicked off Kira, right? So all the other teams also, someone was kicked off, and there's now 275 people left. So they were still like the ranking that they had previously. That's basically where they were still at. So they didn't really do anything, and one of them was complaining about the accommodations and the environment and whatnot. And he's like, you guys are like the lowest, like you are at the bottom. Okay. The more you move up to the top, you get more access to better training, better food, like better everything. So if you want better environment, boost your stats basically. And he also told them about the next selection, the first selection, I believe he called it. And it's going to be they're going to be playing matches between different teams, like their team against other teams. And then the top two teams are going to be moving on, I guess. So, yeah. They started this episode, I believe, with this woman. What was her name? Anri talking to this bunch of people. Basically, she's the one pushing for the Blue Lock experiment. And the guys over there were like, if this fails, it's gonna be on you. And when I saw the intro, I saw, of course they focus on the whole bunch of characters, but there was this one guy in particular that had pink hair that they sort of like focused on her. And I'm like, I was telling myself, I believe I said it out loud, that this looked like the kind of guy that you will have a hard time going against, And then he showed up in this episode, and his name was Itoshi Sai, and he's a midfielder. And when they said he was one of the world's 11 heroes or something or other like that. See, like, I didn't, on the first watch through, I didn't catch that. If it wasn't that I was sitting here, like, trying to look through this thing, I wouldn't even know. Like, I knew he was someone important, especially after when he was talking to the reporter or whatnot. And then the guy was asking him, okay, are you going to be playing for basically Japan? And he's like, no. Like, no. Because you suck. I don't have time for this. I'd rather be playing with somebody else. And then at one point he said there's no one strong enough, I guess, or something or other like that to handle his passes. So I'm like, okay, what kind of position does he? He probably is strong in passing the ball, right? So they also at one point were basically when they were talking about the matches that they were going to go through, and then one of them, I believe Isagi, was like, they were all forwards. me and soccer, I'm not really a sports kind of girl, you know. Like when we were back in Africa, back in Africa, soccer is called football. So I used to watch football, you know, with the whole family and all of that. But after that, it's sort of like after we moved, or maybe even before that, I just sort of like forgot about it. I don't think I know the positions and stuff. I just watch them play, and why not? Like I know some rules and stuff, but I don't know positions and all that kind of stuff. So when they're talking about a midfielder and forwards, I didn't know nothing about that. Goalkeeper, of course, I know. Defense, like there was a scene where they like, okay, you have the goalkeeper, you have the defense, you have the midfielder, and then you have the forward. So when they said that Itoshi, when they said that he was a midfielder, and then after midfielder there's the forwards, and the guys in the Team Z are all forwards. So I'm thinking, okay, so forwards are most likely like strikers, right? So if this guy is the midfielder and he's one of the top 11 heroes or whatnot, then his ability to like, I feel like he will have a great view of the field and be able to sort of like choose the person that's most sort of like appropriate, that's in the best position to strike and hit a goal, score a goal, you know. So he's thinking, at first he's like, you know, I'm not gonna be doing anything with this Japan. And then as he was leaving, he was looking at the conference, and then the way Anri was speaking about the Blue Lock experiment and all of that, the passion he should sort of like displayed, and then he's like, now I don't want to leave anymore. I want to see who is gonna come out of this this experiment. Basically, he's gonna wait and see if the number one striker that comes out of Blue Lock is gonna be at the height that he needs a person to be, someone that can handle his passes, I guess. So yeah. What else? Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Eagle was telling them to forget all about these positions and stuff, because he said that Scott soccer was originally all about scoring, and it was just like as time passed on, then they developed all these different positions and stuff, and that they sort of like basically needs to go back to zero, which is, you know, just think about scoring, I guess. I don't know. I guess we'll see how this goes. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out the link. Is going to be in the pinned comment. So just click on it and you can look at it early. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Pour moi, tu vois, dans le noir tu fais, mais devant la foule tu veux me faire soir. Chacun a son péché mignon, péché mignon.